How do you know whether if it's accurate or not? For that, you need to have a good domain knowledge. You need to be well versed with the product that you are handling. So those are information which AI cannot have it on its own. Like that's where a human aspect comes in. We are in a better position to write better knowledge for these chatbots.
So today's documentation, do you think it won't survive the next 3 to 5 years?
In the future, even like people will have even less attention span. So when you're writing documentation, like your focus should be to reduce what you call compress lot of information into like little sentences. Documentation should be living inside the product or whatever documentation that we are writing, it should be chunked, it should be split into multiple sections. It's like the limited information, but that limited information should be accurate and it should be crisp.
Welcome to the Knowledgebase Ninjas podcast, where Gauri Ramkumar of Document 360 finds the best SaaS self-service knowledge bases in the world and then interviews their creators. Let's get started with today's episode.
Welcome everyone to the Knowledgebase Ninjas podcast. Today we have Steev Kurankara, Senior Technical Content Strategist at Teradata. Hi Steev, how are you doing today?
Hi Gauri, good evening. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be on the podcast. Like this is my first podcast. So looking forward to see how this interaction goes.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much for taking your time. And we are also excited to hear your experience so far in this space. Now, before we start talking a little bit deeper into the current topics, I just want to hear from you. How did it all begin? And just give me a little background about yourself. And who was your inspiration to decide on technical writing?
Yeah, so like when I started off my career, I was into technical support domain. Then I moved on to become a system analyst, and in during this period of technical support as well as system analyst, I have been doing documentation for my companies where I was working. But it wasn't categorized as a technical writing designation as such, but it was a combination of multiple responsibilities. So and technical writing was part of the responsibilities that I was handling. And like after some time, I realized that like technical writing is something that I can actually contribute more, and I could be a good technical writer. The reason being, with the extensive knowledge that I have gained through the system analysis that I used to do and the technical support work that I used to do. So I had the technical know-how. So and my focus then was to improve my writing, and then that's how actually I decided to become a technical writer, because there is a reason why there is technical in technical writing. It's not just any other designation wherein you say content writing or there are like different writers, but technical writing, there's a specific reason why there is technical word inside the technical writing. So and as I have gained over over the work experience, which knowledge that I have gained, I wanted to put that into practice. So that's how I transition my role into a technical writing.
Fantastic. That's great to know. And to be really honest, it's very different to what I used to hear from other guests. But how are you enjoying, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, initially there were a lot of hiccups, as you know, it was something that I was transitioning from a technical role into a writing space. So there were a lot of hiccups, and there were feedbacks that were coming from my colleagues as well. Like, this is a kind of designation wherein you are not getting valued in the organization. There will be less, what you call, like less visibility for you in the industry, in the work that you are doing. But then, I don't what you call put that much heat into the negativity, but more into like whether it will be useful for me. Will I be enjoying the job? That was more of a positive thing that I was looking at. And yeah, since I transitioned into that role, I have like my visibility have increased. Like if I go to any tech writing conferences, people are always recognize me. Yeah, Steev, I know Steev. And and people are always looking out for my LinkedIn post when I have been bit dormant on my LinkedIn for a while because of my work commitments. So like whenever I post something, people are always commenting. Whenever I go to any conferences, people are always looking out for me. So that is the actual motivation for me. I keep posting, I do conferences, I share my knowledge. And so all these contributions are actually, that's what I'm enjoying, if I want to be frank.
Nice, very good, fantastic, great. So now I'm going to talk about AI as your very first conversation, because as you are actively participating in multiple social media and conferences. Now, do you think AI will reduce the need for documentation, or will it increase the need for better structured documentation?
There are two aspects, like, will AI replace technical writers? That's something which everybody talks about a lot. From what I have seen, and I am not an expert in, to decide, okay, technical writing is going away, or, I am not that position, and I'm not in a position to talk about that. But yeah, like, the amount of technical writers that was needed to work on a particular product has reduced significantly. Like, with the help of AI, like, the amount of work which a technical writer can do is more compared to before, because tools are already available for you. You just have to, you should be having the technical expertise to make the best of it. If you look at all these LLM models that we are currently using, the ChatGPT, the Claude, and Gemini, all these kind of tools, the data that was ingested into all these platforms are written by linguistic specialists, PhD
Mhm.
scholars. These are the individuals that have actually contributed to the baking. These are the data that was ingested into all these AI platforms. The reason this data was used, because they have good command over the language. They are, expert in communication. Because if you put garbage inside the AI system, it will be garbage that will be coming out. But they needed a good information. That's why they relied on these individuals for data ingestion. Similarly, if we have a company wherein they need to integrate a chatbot, who will be in a better position to write this documentation? It will be technical writers, because of the extensive knowledge that we have gained over the years. We are in a better position to write better knowledge for these chatbots. We are good
Right.
at writing for good audience. Who we are good at deciding, okay, will this information be useful for the end user? How information should be chunked? It should be, how, like, there are a lot of technical stuff that we do, not just about writing content. So from my understanding, we are in a better position, and like, organizations should always keep some kind of budget for the technical writers, so that they can expand more, they can expand their skills, they can look out for how to make their chatbot, or wherever the value they can bring into the system.
Got it, got it. Now, with AI, everybody can produce content much more easily, right? So making content is not that difficult anymore. But
Yeah.
then what becomes the hardest part of documentation, Steve?
Now everybody is relying on writing the content through AI, and it's quite common. Everybody should be aware by now that, whatever you're writing through the help of AI, it's not 100% accurate. Like, there is the human in the loop aspect that you always have to factor in. So how will you have that knowledge? Okay, now when you give something to AI and it produces the output, how sure are you, whatever output the AI is giving, how do you know whether if it's accurate or not? For that, you need to have a good domain knowledge. You need to be well versed with the product that you are handling. So those are information which AI cannot have it on its own. Like, that's where a human aspect comes in. So human in the loop is something, we have to factor in. Like, it's not just for us, it's for the organization also have to factor in. Because I have seen organizations that are laying off technical writers completely, because they believe AI can do the job. But I don't know, like, they may not see the impact very soon, but in the long run they will see what kind of bad decision it was.
So today's documentation, do you think it won't survive the next 3 to 5 years? What's something today about documentation? Do you think it won't survive for the next 3 to 5 years, or what should be the strategy to make it like a lifelong, to to stay a bit longer?
So from the knowledge and from what I have seen in the industry, like, we have long past that time wherein we'll be writing, static videos, long pager documents for the customers. Like, if you look at the current generation, there's hardly anybody who will have more than 30-second attention span, because of all the social media addiction that we are currently. Even I am one of the, what you call, victim of that, because I can't have more than 30-second attention span. So
Mhm.
if we are in the future, even like, people will have even less attention span. So when you're writing documentation, like your focus should be to reduce what you call compress lot of information into like little sentences. Let's say if I'm using one particular product and when I'm doing something inside the product, if I have some issue, if I face any error, I should be having some kind of pop-up that will come and say, hey, you are facing this issue because something meant like some kind of message should be displayed on the screen, that will help the user to understand, okay, this was the reason why the error occurred. So that's more like a contextual help in product health kind of a thing that we should be looking for. Like, so instead of reading a whole page of documents, we should be documentation should be living inside the product.
Right. So I think the next question kind of relates to my very first question that we started. How do you think AI-ready documentation structurally differ from the regular documentation?
So in AI ready documentation, what we are doing as a technical writer is we are writing for the system, and systems requires clear structure, clear headings, and there should be a proper what you call audience that has to be defined. There has to be information has to be properly structured. It should be there has to be a relationship between different structure of the document. So and or whatever documentation that we are writing, it should be chunked. It should be split into multiple sections. So that's how the AI system will be able to, consume and make the best use of the documentation that we are writing. Now, quite recently, I am working, like I have implemented kind of AI agents for writing, for reviewing my documentation that I have written. So what I did was I initially dumped all my style guide into the AI, and it was hallucinating and it was giving all kinds of rubbish answers. But then I compress that whole MD information into like 5 to 6 lines. And when I looked at the output, I was quite amazed because I realized that it's not just the dump of information which improves the AI performance. It's like the limited information, but that limited information should be accurate and it should be crisp.
Yeah, I think that everybody's got a long way to go in this space, is what we could infer at the end of the day, isn't it? Yeah. Let's move on to your rapid fire round questions, Steve. So I'm sure by the sounds of it, you keep reading a lot of resources, but anything that you can suggest to our audience today, particularly on documentation space?
For me, like I mainly rely on AI tools. I go to Gemini, I go to DeepSeek, I use Claude, I use ChatGPT. So like these are all my go-to resource. Like I don't have to what you call. As I said, I have a very less attention span. So for me to, I need fastest information. So what is the fastest way to get information? This AI writes, using this AI tool. So whatever information I can ask stupid questions. I don't have I mean AI doesn't mind. They know that I'm a stupid person. So anyway, it will give me the right answer. So that's what the like you keep exploring the AI tools, find out the best way to use AI tools. That's how you will be able to increase your productivity, is what I believe.
Okay. So one word that comes to your mind when you hear documentation?
Clarity.
Okay, thank you. My last question to you is a piece of advice you would give to your 20-year-old self?
Yeah. So if I was a 20-year-old, I would say keep exploring. You look out for the future. Like be in the present, but look out for the future. Always look for where exactly our domain or wherever whatever work we are doing, where exactly it is heading into. So that's when you will be able to create a leverage for yourself in the industry.
Okay, that's great. So I try to do justice to your experience and cover as much as possible, but anything else you would like to add to our audiences?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like that same advice that I gave for the 20-year-old myself. Similarly, whenever like all the technical writers out in the whole world, I want to just say, keep exploring, keep trying out new inventions, new discoveries, keep and publicize it. Don't just keep it to yourself. Publicize it. You wouldn't know how useful and how beneficial it is for you only unless and until you go public with it. People won't recognize the effort that you're doing. That's what I did in my previous organization as well. As we are working in a fintech domain, I was previously working in a fintech domain. The knowledge was always internal. Like people wouldn't know the kind of contribution that I was doing over there. So when I went public with it, that's when people actually started realizing, oh, this is the kind of work Steve used to do. So yeah, don't keep everything to yourself. Keep exploring. Go public with it. Let people know that yeah, there's somebody called Steev, and let them others know that yeah, we are doing this kind of work in technical writing.
Great, fantastic. So all I can tell you is please continue to do the wonderful contributions you're doing to this community, and wish you all the very best in your future projects.
Yeah, thank you, Gauri. See you
Thank
all
you.
again.
Pleasure having you.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Knowledgebase Ninjas podcast. Please head to iTunes, rate, and provide honest feedback on the podcast. See you next week.